Yes. We're having a technical difficulty right now. Dave is trying to get his microphone back online. So just give us a few minutes and bear with us, please.
Okay, so it's not a wonder, right? Here we go. We've been practicing for a couple weeks now, Ron, and trying to get this done. And maybe I'd like to just start this. How about that? So I appreciate y'all. Bear with us. So we're going to go ahead and start this show now. Y'all.
Amateurs, aren't we?
All right, everybody, here we go. My name's Dave, and welcome to Tuesday Fish Talk Live with Ron Demers. This is our social media show where we wanted to bring you all together, do something a little different on the Clubhouse and with Social Media Fish Show. So we've been practicing for a couple of weeks, and of course, everything's been working just fine. And right at the very end, we have this technical difficulty where the microphones just crash. Anyway, like I said, I'm Dave. I'm in the control booth. I'm making all the weird stuff happen. The mad scientist getting all this stuff together. But the other thing is I get to introduce you to the host of this show, Ron Demers. Ron is an amazing guy down in Royal Palm, Florida. And so without further ado, sorry about all the hiccups and how weird it got there for a second. But here is Ron Demers. What's going on, Ron?
Thanks, Dave. Good evening, everybody. Happy to be here.
You.
Can't hear me?
Oh, I can hear you.
Can everybody else hear me?
I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's going.
Well, good evening, everybody. Look at everybody popping up there. All familiar faces and names. Happy to see you guys. Welcome. Dave, your audio is not working. No. I'm getting messages and I'm getting text messages.
There we go. So let's just jump into that. Can y'all hear me now? Thank you, Peter, for pulling that out. So yeah, the whole problem is I just can't restart the whole thing. But anyhow, go ahead. Why don't you, since I'm having the issue, Ron, why don't you go ahead and and talk this out. We really want to know. Good to go, Dave. Okay, good. Thanks, Peter. All right, so basically, let's just have that conversation. You know, we were wanting to talk about putting together a Facebook show, something different on Facebook. You know, I remember a couple of weeks ago we talked about how Facebook just seems to have the same old stuff. And there seems to be a water change, right? We use that term, you know, change the water, because it's like every group has the same thing. It's posting in there. And so how could we create a better user experience and get people more active and doing all that? So I'm just glad you decided you wanted to go out and do that, you know? So.
I took some nudging, but I'm embracing it 110%. So
yeah. So see, I have to do that thing where I'm turning it off and then I can't hear you. So it's so nuts. Let's try this. Talk to me, Ron, for a second.
Yes, sir. What do you want to know?
Okay. I can hear you a little. Every time I turn it, I'm in a bowl. So yeah. Okay, so there was a few things. You're gonna have to talk, Ron. I can't use my microphone. Right. Every time I talk, I hear like in my ears, and then I have to turn it off. So, so bear with me. Talk to your people. Let's go ahead and read those chats out. You can see it there and find out where everybody's at. Let's see if we can get people to start sharing. And I'm gonna plug this in. Click over here. So.
All right. Oh, I got a whole bunch of people watching, so we'll get this figured out. But thank you, Lewis. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Randy. Peter's in Southern Maryland. 5 tanks, that's it, Peter? Come on, buddy.
All right, so I think I can get this done now. Microphone seems.
There's my buddy Greg. There's my buddy Ivan. I got lots of friends.
Yeah, you do.
And Pedro was on a little while ago. He was looking at the frontosas in the back. Those are going to be his here in the next month or so. Awesome.
All right, so it's not any better. Dude, it is so crazy. It's like I'm in a glass bowl every time I open my mouth. I can't even.
Hello, Mary. Hey, Winston. How are you, brother? There's my boy, Jeremy. If you all don't know already, Jeremy Phyllis is one of my moderators. And, man, what an awesome guy. I am very happy to have him on my team. Isaac Garcia is also one of my moderators. Real good guy. Glad to have him on my team, or our team, so to speak. There's my boy Pedro. What's up, buddy?
So
Ron.
Let me interrupt real quick, Ron. Let's see if we can get some people to do this. So, first thing I wanted to talk about was we're going to give away some stuff. One of the coolest things about Ron being on this FishTalk Live is I'd really like to grow this group, have this show, and give away some fish and do things a little different. You know, not these traditional raffles and things like that. So here's what we decided, or here's what Ron decided, and that is that if we can get 100 viewers on the Facebook Live, Ron's going to give away a fish, right? So I wanted to show people how you can share in order to get people on there. And that is by turning on your notifications. So if you're looking at the Facebook Live here and there's the chat is on the right there, you'll see up here next to Ron Cichlids, there's a little bell. See that bell? If you click that bell right now and say select all, every time we go live, you will be able to see you'll get a notification. That way you won't forget on Tuesday. So that's one way to do it. And then right below there, you'll see a share button. Now, if you're an admin or a moderator on a Facebook group, if you want to, go ahead and share this live into your group. It would be great content. Sorry for the screw up at the beginning, but it will turn out to be great content. And from there, go into the chat and tell us what group that you have shared into the chat. We will mention your group next week on the show. So that's one way we can increase the engagement and do all of that. So why don't you take it from here, Ron, and talk a little bit.
All right. Thank you for the introduction. Hey, my boy Richard's on. Hey, buddy. How are you? No, this is basically the first real episode. Like he said, we're going to talk about things every week. We're going to talk about what we're trying to do. We need your help. Like he was saying, the more shares, the more people that are viewing, more stuff I'm going to give away, more stuff I have the opportunity to give away. I always try to take care of my customers and pay back to you guys. You guys have all been good to me over the years, and this is just my way of saying thank you. Every week we're going to have a topic. We're going to have a predetermined topic, and then there's going to be questions and answer section. I don't know if we necessarily have a specific topic tonight. I think it's more derived around what we're trying to do and where we're moving to.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking is, let's talk a little bit about what you're trying to do. A lot of people are like, whoa, there's a lot of Facebook groups and things like that. And like I mentioned, we wanted to do something that people aren't doing on social media. So every week I have a topic. Looks like next week you're going to be talking about fish from Africa, and particularly the Great Rift Lakes, Lake Malawi and Tanganyika and Victoria. And some of the other topics that we have outlined are we're going to talk about filters and, well, you are, as I'm just the control unit here, and paint mates dealing with aggression, lighting and decor. We also have one here. We're hoping to maybe JJ Castillo can come on. Wouldn't that be cool, Ron? Talk about photography and video.
Should have a photography, lighting, and type of deal, because JJ.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who JJ is when it comes to pictures. They always ask him the same question: how do you take such amazing pictures? JJ is a very close friend of mine, probably one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. I think that's just gets me kind of choked up every time I say this, but most of you just started off as customers, and it chokes me up that a lot of you have become friends, and you don't really need that many friends in life. But when I'm surrounded by so many people that I call a friend, that I can talk to all the time, and we understand each other, it's pretty amazing. Sorry for the mushy sentimental, but JJ's one of those guys. I've known him for quite a few years, and they don't come much better than him. But when it comes to taking pictures with a cell phone, he's the man. Absolutely. Yeah. He's the man. He can do it with a cell phone. Doesn't even need a regular good camera. He can do it with a cell phone. He knows his stuff.
So basically on the show, what we want to do is have a live question and answer. So every week we'll come on, and Ron will take one of these topics and do a discussion about it on topic, and then we'll open it up with the chat and do live questions and answers. So people will be able to ask you directly different questions regarding whatever the topic is. So that's the bulk of the show, but we wanted to make it exciting, kind of like a television show, and put it together with some production and things like that. So every week Ron's gonna be giving away stuff, and we have two ways that we're gonna do that. So I kind of wanted to talk about it right now, as it's really a big part of the whole thing, and that is, if we can get 100 viewers on, Ron's just going to go straight to the grand prize and give away fish and get people happy. But if we don't get 100 viewers, we kind of went to this spin to win type of things, where we'll go ahead and we've got a spinner with 24 slots. One of them is a fish. Some of the other prizes are food and
Wheel of Fortune
online, and it's cichlid bucks and things like that. So every week we'll be doing that. Every week we're going to have a member video of the week. And then Ron's also picked out a fish of the week, which he's showcasing in his shop, which is kind of cool. And we'll hear from some sponsors and stuff like that. Did I miss anything there, Ron?
No, it doesn't really matter if we miss anything or not. This is doesn't matter. We're good.
Yeah. So, what's really cool is that we got you on Instagram and um, Twitter. So I want to show people here that. Like the little frontosa.
Little, he was a big one. He had a big old
Yeah.
hump on his head.
Yeah.
Mine are right over here. They just don't want to come out and play.
So, we're 90 days in now, Ron. Ron and I started working together. Ron hired my agency to help do some branding with this company. And we're 90 days in. The website was the first thing that we did, and got all of that up and running. So I was just going to talk a little bit about some of the parts of the website that were really kind of unique for you. And I was just curious from your standpoint how things were working, like it's the call connectors and message connectors and that. Is that working out pretty good?
Yeah, I did this to streamline my business to give me some more free time. Um, it hasn't given me any more free time. I've put that free time back into the business. The call page works, but unfortunately, a lot of times when somebody calls, I'm on the call with somebody else. I mean, you can ask Daniel, you can ask Ivan, you can ask Greg, you can ask half these people that are on right now watching. I stop what I'm doing and I talk to you on the phone if you need to talk to me. And so I don't always have the opportunity to answer these messages and these calls when they call, but I get back with them either way.
Yeah. I think
It does work.
Yeah, I think the idea behind it is that fact that people can get a hold of you right then. So if they're on the shop and they're looking at a fish and have some questions about that, just one button. Not a lot of websites have that as an offering. Same with the messenger. So building out your platform was really awesome for me to be able to get involved in that. I'm a hobbyist as well, but I'm fairly new, just in the last year. So it was great to build out that experience and do all of that design work. You know, so that there's two parts to it: is the front end, which is your kind of experience end, and then the second part is the shop. So,
Yep.
I know that shop's been going. I see it going every day.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about that. I mean,
Yeah.
as all of you know who have been with me for many years now, everything used to be you calling me, you messaging me, me trying to find time to message you back, let you know what I have in stock, sending pictures, going online, looking up shipping quotes, sending invoices, manually entering all of that. Just stop and think for a minute the sheer amount of time that took me, and to talk to my customers, which I'll never stop doing, just so you know. That's who I am. And then still at the end of the day, I got to be a husband and a father, and y'all know me. I've got hobbies, and I like to spend time with my family. So the e-commerce shop has made a complete difference. It will take orders in the middle of the night when I'm not on your time zone and I'm already asleep. It will show you pictures. It will show you sizes. It will show you your shipping quotes and your options. So that's something I don't necessarily need to do anymore. So that has saved me a ridiculous amount of time, like having my own personal assistant, but it works for me all the time. So if any of you all still want to talk to me, my phone's always open, but I'm trying to push everybody to the shop whenever possible, just because it's so much more streamlined and it's easier for you, honestly. And that's the feedback I've been getting so far is how easy it is to use. I don't really think we've got any glitches anymore. It runs flawless, as far as I'm concerned, and it's saved me a lot of time. So thank you, Dave. Dave and I discussed what I wanted, and I've said it before, man. He's 110% type of guy. He doesn't drive down the middle of the road, buddy. The whole road is his. So
Well, thank you very much. Let's look at some of the things on the shop that I want to kind of point out to help people utilize. one of the things we talked about was searching for fish. So sometimes you have an idea, you've got your search bar up here, but some of the ways to sort these things out is we've got our fish by type, obviously. And then here is a very powerful way to search here, fish in stock by size. So this one here, it will show you all of the large ones or all of the extra large ones that are in stock. And if the fish isn't in stock, it doesn't show up. So if we click there, it will go straight there, and you've got extra large pluses, which for that size, you've got these 4 that are in stock right now. You can also search by all fish in stock or type. So that's one of the things. And it makes things a lot easier. And just the fact that you can go through the whole process from order to ship and be there. So that's one of the parts that seems to be working really well.
So I'll get the hang of this, but Dave, how can I make sure that no matter what happens, I always have this feed on my phone here, or somewhere, so I can see all of these people who are commenting and are coming on?
Well, okay, so here's how it works in the big world, Ron. In the big world, okay, think of Howard Stern's, right? Howard Stern show. You ever notice there's like 6 people in there? You got one person controlling it, one person calling it. I think if we set you up with a tablet, so that's what I have in front of me. I've got so many moving parts, and like I said,
I'll work on that before the next show.
That came up at first kind of knocked my legs out from under me, made me a little nervous. But I think that's one way that you can get around that. The other thing is I can send you a link for the chat that you can open in another window. I think I sent that to you before, but I have that.
Yeah, because I really don't need to see what's going on the screen.
And I'm going to Facebook, and I'm going to send it to you. I have to. But right there, if you click that link, the real-time chat for this live will show up on your screen. Then you can close Facebook back out. Let's see, where were we at? So there was another issue on the shop that I really wanted to help with people, and that is, and if it seems like I'm ignoring you, Ron, it's not. I just have to switch between the two. Like I can't talk and hear you at the same time. We'll sort this technical problem out. But anyway, I'm not ignoring you if you try to get a hold of me. I'm just going through some of this. So one of the things I wanted to share about the shop, and this is cool. It's cool for Ron because it's going to help him, and he can provide more service to his customers, but it's also going to help each customer and save money and be able to get discounts. And everybody's always looking for a way. I mean, this is an addiction, right? How much money do we spend every month on our addiction? Whether it's chemicals or fish or whatnot. So places to save money are always really, really good for that. So I'm still here on the page, and the one part is the rewards program. So I noticed that people are not really using the rewards program, and I thought to myself, I don't think they know that it exists. And basically the rewards program is Ron's Cichlid bucks, and you can earn bucks by sharing and doing these things, and sometimes we'll call it out, do this for us and give you Cichlid bucks. But one of the cool features of the referral program is the referrals themselves. So after you logged in, it gives you, what your balance is right here and the rewards that you can claim, ways you can earn. But it's down here that is really powerful where people can get money. It's basically you're giving people money, Ron. So if they share it and they get a unique link, they copy right here and they share it on their personal page or in a group that they have. If somebody uses that link and signs up for an account, that person gets $10 off their order, and you get $10 off your order. So it's one of the things I've noticed that it's not getting utilized as much, and I think it's just a matter of explaining that out. Am I talking too much?
No, you're good. I was trying to get that thing figured out that you sent me, but I don't get anything from it. It doesn't. I just got one. It doesn't really. I got one from Cindy. It says I'm here. I'll keep an eye on it to see what it does.
Yeah.
But
so
we got a rewards program. I mean, every time you guys, if you're registered on the site, every time you spend money, we have Cichlid bucks. There's a value to it, and after you get a certain amount of points, it's worth a discount code basically. And then, like as he was saying, there's a referral program that if you refer somebody, and most of you guys already do, you might as well get a reward for it, so to speak. Just like cable, TV, and everything else there is. Most of you guys already give referrals to people for me, so might as well get a couple extra bucks for free.
Yeah, I think your platform is really shaping up, and our initial conversations when we first decided to do this was you kept saying over and over and over, and it's one of the reasons I like to work with you, is that you over and over and over, you're like, it's about the customer. I want to talk to the customer. I want to provide more value to the customer. I want the customer to have a better experience. I want the customer to be able to save money. And so everything that you've asked for is the way I went in to design this out. And it's just really, it's really cool the way you run your business, Ron. It's different. And I said this in a post, I think, on the Clubhouse last night, is that you are stepping up the A game for breeders out there of what can be done and how to interact with people. So
it's just the way it should be. It's not me doing anything different than the way I lead my life. It's just the way you're supposed to be, and if you want to run a successful business, you care about your customers. I mean, that's just all there is to it. I care about my fish and I care about my customers. My fish come first, guys. Sorry, that's the reality. Those of you guys who know me know that fish come first. Second is you guys. So
a lot of people shared their groups into the chat. This is great. So we're going to be able to look at who shared the Facebook Live. We'll go look on the page and make sure everybody's sharing out, and then we can mention these groups next week on Facebook, or excuse me, on the Facebook on the Tuesday Fish Talk Live. So, we've kind of ran a little long, Ron. So we had a few other things we wanted to discuss, but I think we should just move it along. We should get to the point.
Let's do it.
Why don't we go ahead and take a break? Not a break, but let's go ahead and listen from the sponsors real quick. We'll run those sponsor ads, and then we'll come back and we'll do some question and answer. I can focus in on the chat, and we'll let people ask you a few questions directly. We'll interact a little bit. So we'll be back in about as fast as you can possibly imagine. And here we go.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to say I am proud of the time I spent in the United States Navy. This is a great country, made great by the men and women who serve and have served in the United States Armed Forces. From the sacrifices of our fathers and grandparents to those of you who are currently serving on active duty, it is my honor and pleasure to offer a special discount to our veterans. If you are active military or a veteran, please let me know so I can do my part and honor you for your service. I love this country, and it's made great because of the men and women who have served in the armed forces. If you are a veteran and a business owner, check out veteranownedbusiness.com.
And turn you on, Ron. So
That didn't sound
whatever it
right.
takes, I have to figure out this audio problem, and that's my commitment to not only you, Ron, but the rest of the viewers that decided to come in. Just this is a very what's the right word, Ron? When you strive to do something.
OCD.
No, no, no. When you bite a lot off, when you're trying to, oh gosh,
Overachiever.
something like that. It's like uh, right on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, through all the, what we got going on is pretty big project. There's a lot of moving parts, and so anyhow. We can open it up to some questions and answers. We were going to talk. You were going to talk a little bit about your food, but because of the delays and trying to get this together, it's probably not. So, but if anybody has any questions they want to ask Ron, I'll go ahead and monitor. You can always tell when I try to listen in on you because my voice goes. Okay, so for those that are listening, this is what happens. I have the microphone. Here it is. Okay, this is a microphone, right? In order for me to hear it, I have to shut everything else off, so I can't hear Ron. And then when I go to listen to Ron, it puts a delay of about almost a second. So when I try to talk, it gets really weird, like I'm high or having a stroke. And it's almost impossible for me to be able to do that. So we'll solve this. All right. So Marie Roth Henderson wants to hear a little bit more about your food. They tell us about your food. They're talking about the food. So why don't we just do that? Why don't we go in and
Yep.
and you go ahead.
We've got two topics. We've got my brothers and sisters who served in the armed forces that are shouting out where they served. I'm going to address them first. That's dear to my heart. Thank you for your service, guys. I appreciate it. I don't have much more to say. It chokes me up too. I enjoyed my time when I was in the Navy, and I honor every single one of you guys who have done what I've done, and our grandfathers and our great grandfathers, and all of our family has. So thank you for that. So, all right, you guys.
Okay.
I don't know what you want to know about the food, but I'm going to let you know how I got started. All right, go ahead, Dave.
No, that's what I was going to point you right to that spot. So tell us,
I'm already there.
How did you get the idea of making your own food?
So this isn't some marketing scheme. This isn't some way for me to get rich. What this was I raise fish for a living. That's what I do. I did not find one source of food on the market. I don't need to mention any names. There's a lot of great foods out there. I could not find one that gave me what I wanted for my program. I grow fish, I breed fish, I raise fish, I have fry, juveniles, adults, breeders, and I couldn't find what I needed. So if you're in a farm type situation where you're a groundwater farm and you don't really have close quarters, you can get away with one staple diet. But when you're in an aquarium habitat and these fish are in a closed ecosystem, variety is the key. So I started figuring out what kind of ingredients can I get, but making your own food from raw ingredients is very difficult I've done it. I mean, I used to use avocados and lettuce and zucchini and shrimp and salmon. I used to put it in a blender. I used to make my own food. It's a lot of work, and you got to make a fresh batch every few weeks and freeze it. So I found a lot of ingredients that already are out there in commercial foods, in off-the-shelf foods. I found about 16 plus types of food, and I tweaked it as an experiment until I figured out what I wanted. I wanted a sinking food. That was a given. For all of my foods, except for the big boy food, it's all sinking food. Fish gulping at the surface for food, they swallow air. It's not good for them. food also has different sink rates, and that's so the aggressive fish up top are eating the big pieces, while the little guys in the bottom that are a little more subdominant are getting the smaller pieces that sink faster. Plus, we've all got some type of bottom feeders or something that never seems to get enough food. So there's a reason why, like on my adult formula, it's 1.5 to 4 millimeters. So this was just for my own use. People started asking me, hey, what do you feed your fish? I showed them. They didn't know how to make it themselves. So they asked me to make some for them. And that went from a little bit here and there to I ship food out every single day of the week, all around the world. I've expanded the line to Big Boy and Mabuna for those people who wanted bigger food. I have a few customers that have been asking me for bigger food for a long time, and I finally got around to doing it. Same thing with Mabuna. It's about ingredients. And I've never claimed that it's the best food in the world, but it's everything that a fish needs and more. I focus on metabolism. And by doing that, the colors, the growth, the fins, the breeding, all of that falls into play because of metabolism. You'll notice with this food, they'll eat more of it than they will a lot of commercial foods because it doesn't have a lot of fillers. It has a lot of whole proteins. And one key ingredient is earthworms. A lot of places don't use earthworms because it's an expensive ingredient, but by far the best protein you could ever ask for a fish. If you ever want to find out about that, just search through my clubhouse and look up Ivan Murphy. He has thrown some earthworms in his tank, as I suggested, and the fish love them. So.
So basic the varieties that you have, right, are you have your adult African cichlid mix, you have the new Mbuna mix, you have the juvie mix, fry mix, and the other new one is the big boy size, huh? I know you sent me some to check out. I threw it in for my Oscar. He loves it.
Yeah, and this food is not just for African cichlids. The protein count, there's a lot of veggies and something else a lot of places don't put in there. There's a lot of fruit in there and it helps in digestion. So this can be fed to Jack Dempsey's, South Americans, Oscars, community. I know people who feed it to the community tank with angelfish and tetras and stuff. The protein and the ingredients are there. That's what's key. The second thing is there's always a size for whatever fish. So like the fry is exactly what it says. It's for fish up to 3/4 of an inch or an inch. And then the juvie is for fish basically 1 to 2.5 inches. And then the adult is the most widespread. You can feed 2.5-inch fish. I do it all the time. 2 to 2.5-inch fish all the way up to some of the 10 to 12-inch monsters that I've got in my jumbo vats that they get the same food.
We're getting a few questions come in. It looked like Randy Tipton, he was asking about getting the samples. And so tell us about the samples, Ron, that you got and how that's going to work.
I decided, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago for you guys who want to try the food but don't want to commit to, getting a bag, that you can try a sample. You can go to my webpage, my e-commerce shop. The website will bring you there, and it's totally free. There is a $1.50 charge, but there's also a coupon that takes that $1.50 off. The only thing you have to pay for is shipping, which is $6.
And that coupon code is sample food. Sample food. You see that on both the Facebook group, and you see that on the website.
And it's been very popular. A lot of people have been making orders of, let's say, adult food because that's what they want. And they say they're asking for a sample of something else, or a fish order is going out and they want a sample.
That's great. That's exactly what Randy said. He says, I want to try the big boy mix for my.
The answer is always the same. I get feedback every day. It's the same, that I tried it. My fish go bonkers over it. I don't know what magic you put in there, but the fish love it. And fish can be very, very picky. But the adult formula is the most wide variety. I feed my Mabuna that. I feed my peacocks, my haps, my Tanganyikans, my frontosas, everything. The adult formula for me is probably 90% of what I use. The big boy formula is for bigger fish that people think the fish need a bigger meal. I prefer smaller meals for the fish. It's easier for them to digest. But for those of you that want a bigger food, it's 3 to 6 millimeter. Now, the bigger pellets, they float. There's no way you're going to be able to make a big pellet sink. It's just too much buoyancy in it from the manufacturing process. So it's all by
you're
weight.
offering the
So
samples, that sample food
amount.
that gives you free samples, and then you also have your $2 off, which is food 2 off. If you want to try this food, just go to the shop, go to the food collection, whatever you order, doesn't matter which size, half pound, full pound. You want $2 off, put in the code food2 off. I got something I got to show you, Ron. It's so cool. So I just got a message from Randy, and he goes, check this out. Look at the way I'm watching you guys on your live. So let me find the browser full screen. All right, here it comes. So he's in there. He's got a full-on projector. There's Ron Demers. It's so cool.
It's like 1970. We're at the drive-in.
Yeah. So that is just great. So
thank you, Randy.
Yeah. Ron, your food is great. People rave about it. Every time I turn around, there's somebody else that's talking about it. It's awesome. I know for me that I have 2 bucos, and I got one from you who was about 1.5 inches or so smaller than the other one, and just feeding them both at the same time with Ron's food, that smaller one has caught up to the other one already. So I know that it has to do with the food, and as you always say, if you want a healthy fish, clean water, good food. So awesome.
Absolutely. So Mary, I feed every day for most of my fish just in the evening time, about 5 or 6 o'clock. For me, most of my fish are outside. They go through a natural sunrise and sunset. Fry, I have fry on my porch, and I got fry everywhere. Fry get fed 3 times a day here. I feed them first thing in the morning. I feed them middle of the day. I'm here all day. And then in the afternoon, I give them something to nibble on for a while in the late afternoon and the evening. And just a little key information while we're doing this is the aggression issues that you have with African cichlids. We'll have another conversation about this. But while we're on the conversation of food, I've figured out something, and I ran an experiment for a while. I had aggression issues at night when the lights went off. I found that feeding my fish 30 to 45 minutes before the lights go off at night dramatically curbed aggression. After you get done eating Thanksgiving dinner, you don't want to fight with anybody. You just want to go sit on the couch and unbuckle your pants. Fish are the same way. So those late night aggression issues that you don't even know that are going on, but you wake up in the morning and a fish is beat up, if you feed them in the evening, it's great. It curbs that. Plus, they're going to poop when the tank lights are off. And by the time you wake up in the morning, the filter's already took care of it. So you don't have to worry about that discolored water either. So there's one tidbit for the show.
Okay. So I'm going to try to push this through. Again, like I said, our timing is all off, but I think things are going well, Ron, for sure. Getting a lot of response.
I could do this.
There's some chats that we did see. One question was about Purigen. We'll try to answer that for you. Randy had a question about the food. Is he feeding too much because he's seeing some things on the top of the water? So we'll go ahead and address those questions after this. But we want to get to the last part. We've got about 15 minutes left. So
okay.
So again, it's so difficult because my microphone is so effed up right now. It's unreal. Anyhow. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best way for us to do that. So we talked about if we got 100 people on live, that we would go ahead and just give a fish away right off. I think we're going to have to spin the wheel. So everybody listen up really carefully on how this is going to work, okay? I am going to type in right now, find this, I can make this work. This is one of the ones that we're like, hey, is this going to work or not? So you need to type into the chat message the word spin. And it has to come after you see this message. I'm getting ready to send this message. This is how we're going to be able to do that. So every message that comes up after Dave Gould, type spin, type it right now. That's going to enter you into a drawing. We're going to use a random generator to pick a number, and we're going to count down from that. You have to be here on the live to be able to win. That's part of the
requirement
thing there, and we're going to get you on there. So it's coming. We got 1 minute, so we're at 7:48. At 7:50 we're going to close this down, and I'm going to type another message that says closed. Once I type that, then it's closed, and there'll be a numbers, and it'll be in there. So here they're all coming in. They'll open. And once we do that, this is what's really cool. We kind of gamifying things here a little bit with the Facebook groups and all that. It's only one person, one spin per person. So there's a couple people that type twice. Won't be there. So we've got about 15 seconds longer. Now, the cool thing about this is next week, right? When we go ahead and start sharing out, you shared these groups. If we get 100 people, we're going to skip this and we're going to go straight to the grand prize and just draw it right off. We've got 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Here comes my closed message. All right, so we're closed. And all right. I'm waiting for it to show up here. There's a lag.
Yeah, I probably need to go longer than a minute.
I'm going to let you talk a little bit there, Ron, while I make this magic happen on my end, okay?
Magic. Yeah, so we thought and we thought and we thought, and the only way we could possibly do this was like a Wheel of Fortune type thing. So bear with us while we try to figure this out, make it fair. But yeah, like Dave said, you know, once we're going to be doing at least one or two of these every show. It's however many I figure out I want to do for the nights. If we're just going and going and going and I'm in a good mood, then we'll just keep doing it. And then, like he said, when we have 100 members, I'll just give away a fish, large size fish, and then the winner will get a hold of me and we'll take care of the rest. But just want to give back to you guys. It's got nothing to do with me. It's got all to do with you guys. And it's hard for me to tell everybody thank you, but this is a good platform for me to do so. So.
Okay, I'm looking here. So, I was looking at the Facebook Live is a little bit behind us. I'm like, wait, he's talking, but I can't hear him. Okay, all right. So I'm looking through these real-time comments, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the random generator now, so that we can generate a number, and whatever number comes in. So let me count these comments up real quick, and we'll get there to the generator. Okay, so here's the thing. If you'd like to help with this show, please reach out, because there are several different things that we can, we certainly need some help with. And one of them would be to help run these things. We have our moderator, Jeremy, that's helping us tonight as well. This is another call out. You know, Ron, we didn't get to the Facebook groups part, but there's 5 active Ron Demers official Facebook groups. And if you are an experienced moderator and are looking to help and looking to get involved with a platform that is going somewhere, that's kind of changing the way we're going to deal with having a fish hobby on Facebook. There's just too many cool things to do. reach out to Ron and let him know that you're interested in becoming a moderator or that you would like to help with the show. There's a few things that we could use some help with. So I'm going to count. Go ahead and talk, Ron. I'm going to count this up.
All right. Yeah, like Dave said, as we grow, we're going to need more help. And Dave's really good. He's cutting edge on what works. So he'll post videos and stuff on ways to do things that will streamline, make it easy. Right now, Jeremy and Isaac are doing basically their share as moderator, and Dave's doing about 110%. But we do need a few more people to help, and I'd be glad to have you. Anybody, that would like to help. But we got a lot of people tonight. I'm glad we see our people. Just so you guys know, I'm not going to be able just to answer a question every time you guys pop one up during the live feed. We're going to have a special section for questions, and we're going to have to keep it kind of time sensitive. There's going to be certain episodes that we talk about things like water parameters, chemicals, substrate, stuff like that. If we can't answer your question on the live show, you can always reach out to me privately if it's important.
Okay, I've got our numbers here. There's 32 people mentioned for the spin. So we're going to go ahead and generate a number here. This is going to be number... number 29. So let me go ahead and tell you who number 29 is. That is Isaac.
It's rigged. It's rigged.
It's rigged. Yeah.
It's rigged.
All right, Isaac, you get to spin the wheel. I'm going to spin it for you. In the future, next week when we get this technical problem with the audio done, the way we're going to do it is you're going to call in. There's a call-in number. We can have guests. We can bring people's videos and all of that up on here for that. And
we still got more stuff to talk about. So
yeah. So let's go ahead and set the spin for Isaac and see if we can do that. Why don't we let's do one more. We're going to go ahead and take care of you, Isaac. Go ahead. What?
Yeah, I agree. I was going to say the same thing. Let's do another one.
Hey, Isaac, you're in the back pocket, so you're going to get something special.
Yeah, we'll just send Isaac a free business card or something.
We'll send you send you some styrofoam from some fish shipment. Okay, I'm going to regenerate this one more time. Let's go ahead and look, and I'm doing, and then we go here. Here's the regenerator, and 32. I'm going to still put in 32. Hopefully number 29 doesn't come up again. Let's go ahead and get, oh my gosh. Crazy. Number 18. So let me go ahead and count that back. You go ahead and take over for a second, Ron, while I figure this out, okay?
All right. Another topic we're going to get into here in a few minutes is fish of the week. Every episode, I'm going to have a showcased fish that is the fish of the week. I'll talk about it a little bit. This week's fish is not very well known, and we'll talk about that. And every fish of the week is going to come as a discount for 48 hours for anybody who watches the show. There'll be a special coupon code for that fish.
Okay, so that turns out to be Randy Tipton. Are you there, Randy? We gotta see a quick message from you that says you're there, that you can claim this prize. And then we're gonna spin the wheel. Let me show you what that wheel looks like, and that wheel looks like. Bring it in. So this is what the wheel looks like. Did Randy say he's there? You gotta be on the live to be able to win and spin the wheel. So type a message in right now, Randy, that says
there he is.
Wrong. There he is. Okay, so here we go. I am going to click to spin. This thing's going to spin for 8 seconds. It's very random, and here we go. Notice that we have this black grand prize. Do you want to talk about what the grand prize is for today, Ron?
I don't know what the grand prize is. From my vision, it's tiny. It's probably a free fish.
It is a free fish, but how do you want to handle that? Do you have one in mind?
Oh, no. Free fish is it's basically going to be a large size fish, and I'll let the customer decide if it's in stock. Then
Nice.
a large fish is a large fish.
Okay. So again, I got my my weird creeper voice listening to both sides. So I turned that down. So notice we got half pounds of food. We got 1 pound of food. We have 25% off, which is another big one if you got it. There's 24 spots. We're going to spin it. Here it goes, Randy. This is what you win.
You should have the Wheels on the Bus soundtrack when that goes.
Oh, look. So damn close. Randy, you won a pound of food, your choice, and Ron's going to send that out. So awesome.
Nice. Congratulations, Randy.
All right. So again, I'm going to have to turn this down just to talk. But sorry about this, Ron. So
All right.
we're at that point where we're about ready to close up. I'm going to let Ron give his closing statements. I just wanted to say a few things.
Do we want to do the fish of the week, or are we going to skip that?
What's that?
Dave.
What?
Are we going to do the fish of the week, or are we skipping that?
Well, I mean, yeah, we can go over. I mean, people can sign off if they want. Let's do that fish of the week. So sorry. Let's go right there, right now. Go ahead and tell us about the fish of the week.
All right, guys. Fish of the week is near and dear to my heart. I love this species. It's not very well known in the hobby. It's called I can never pronounce it. Nevochromis chrysogaster. It's not well known in the hobby. I wouldn't say it's rare. I just would say it's not very well known. They're a moderately peaceful hap. They're from Lake Malawi. They're widespread throughout the lake. This species is a monotypic, it's called. It means they're the only ones in their genus. There's no other fish. You know, like a venustus is a Nimbochronus, so is a fusco, and Livingstoni, and a polystigma, and a linni. Those are all in the same genus. This is not. The males are spectacular when they reach adulthood, which is usually 8 to 9 inches. I call them the poor man's Buccochromis. They have a bright blue face, yellow body. They'll have red and green with like metallic speckles on them. Some of the most striking egg spots you've ever seen on a fish. For me, that's what I really, really like. As juveniles, you'll see either a stripe or spots on the side, and depending on their mood, they can lose the stripes and just get spots. And as they mature, they'll completely lose their spots, and their flank will just be yellow and blue with some green in it and flecks. It's just absolutely beautiful. They're moderately peaceful, semi-aggressive, so to speak. They're a perfect addition to any peacock and hap tank. They can hold their own. They're not known to be aggressive. Their requirements are the same as every other peacock and hap. You know, hard water, pH somewhere near 8 is ideal. Their food requirements, their diet is the same as you feed your peacocks and haps. There's nothing unique regarding them. It's just a fish that is going to get about 8 or 9 inches. So make sure you've got a tank 4 feet long or longer for these guys. And for this, I think next 2 days, the way we're going to do this is the fish of the week, which we showcase right now, is going to be 25% off. And then there's going to be a coupon code, which is here, you can see below, which is Fish O Week 1. And if you go to purchase one in the next 48 hours, which are the people who are on this live feed, you'll get a 25% discount. The fish, my price is around $30, which is cheap compared to what they normally would go. 25% off is going to bring you down to $22, $24. 10%, yeah, somewhere around there. I'll do my math later, but we'll have a fish of the week every week. I've got quite a few of these. They're near and dear to my heart. I have 55 plus in my breeding colony. Gorgeous fish that's very underrated.
Yeah. So I just think it's such a great thing. You not only get to teach people about it, but then you want those fish to go to. So 25% off is an awesome price. So $20, gosh, I spend $20 up at the local fish store for dogfish. So it is awesome. Why don't we go ahead and do this member video of the week? Since
yes, please. Thank you.
We're going to go over just a little bit, everybody.
All right. So the video of the week this week comes from Scott McBride. He's a customer of mine that I meet along the way when I go to my South Carolina house. He meets me, I think it's in St. Augustine, if I remember correctly. And we meet at a gas station, and he gets fish, and we go about our way. But beautiful fish in his tank. Right there is Insignis, and then you've got a Tanzania. He's got some Pombo rocks in there. Beautiful albino compressiceps, otter point. Quite a few of those fish have come from me. We're going to be having a video of the week every episode that we do this. Dave will give you more information on where I think it should be on the clubhouse about us posting it. But I just want to say thank you, Scott. I mean, you've got a beautiful tank. I like the way it's laid out. The fish are beautiful. The water's clear. And if you all look carefully in there in the back, you'll see a fish with 3 dots on it. There is a chrysogaster right in there in the back by that lace rock. So he's got a fish of the week in there as well.
I need 4 arms is what I need. That's what I need. 4 arms to be able to do all this. All right, so I think we're going to wrap it up now. I would like to just make a few more mentions before we go. It's just bear with me for about 1 minute. This show is going to be every week, Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's part of the official Ron Demers official Facebook group, which includes the Mbuna hangout, the Lake Tanganyika clubhouse, the main one, which is Ron Demers Cichlid clubhouse. It's something that Ron has been really wanting to do, and that is create an experience for people in the fish hobby. No longer it just seems like it's just constant in almost all of the interactions on Facebook. It's this, and this. So we wanted to do something different. Help us make this a success. Go ahead and turn on the notifications. Share these things out. Tell your friends about it. Come back every week. Win fish. All Ron wants to do is give away fish. So if we get 100 people viewing next week, we're going to skip the wheel. We're going to just skip the wheel completely.
We still may
straight
do the
to
wheel.
A raffle, free raffle for fish that you get to pick out. And yeah, it's been awesome to be here. I apologize since I'm the guy that's in the control booth for the technical difficulties. I promise we'll iron all that out by next week. Hopefully you had some fun and you can share this with people. So we're about ready to sign off. I'll let you have the final word, Ron. I appreciate doing this. It's awesome to be with you and to do this kind of stuff.
Thanks, guys. Some of you may ask, why I wanted my own groups. I've been members, and I still am a member of a lot of groups, but I wanted a family. I wanted some place where somebody felt comfortable asking questions, got good answers. There was no judging. There was no bashing. There was no drama. There was just a helpful place for people to talk about tanks and ask for help. And that's what it's going to be, plain and simple. It's going to be a family community type groups. I don't care how fast they grow. I just want people to help each other. I'm a pay it forward type person. If I've taught you something in the time that I've known you, and it's good information, pass it along to somebody else. Pay it forward. I'm a strong believer in pay it forward. So thank you everybody for coming tonight. I got a shit eating grin on my face. I didn't think I was going to enjoy this as much, but I do. I'm addicted. Thank you guys. I appreciate everything. Thanks, buddy. Bye, guys.